There is an ongoing debate, a discussion, probably never ending, of where black Americans should lie on the political spectrum. Should black Americans continue to base the majority of their political ideals on the left, or would it make more sense to be on the right, or does it even matter at all? We're gonna get into all of that.
But first,
I want to give a shout out to this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN! I barely make anything from YouTube's ad revenue, and with my Patreon support being cut by nearly 60% in 2 months, it is important now more than ever to have awesome sponsors like ExpressVPN. A VPN is a virtual private network that encrypts your internet data and routes it through a secure server, so you can do all that voodoo that you do so well, worry-free. And I know there's a lot of you that still haven't gotten your VPN because you're just too lazy. You're just too lazy because you're like, oh, no, nothing's gonna happen to me. But the thing is, you never know when somebody's gonna hack you and get your information. You never know when somebody's gonna dox you. You never know when somebody is going to swat you. It's just better safe than sorry. And look, ExpressVPN is no chump. They're one of the best VPNs out there, highest rated. They got tons of servers in over 90 countries, some of the fastest speeds, so they're gonna hook you up, and I'm gonna show you how to set it up because it's so easy. Look, you want it on your phone, you just gotta download that app, and then once you got it right there, you just push the button and it's already done. You want to set that up on your computer, boom, you just download the program and then it's one simple push. And look, you want to change your country or whatever, you want to get in a different server in a different country, simple as that. It is the simplest thing ever. So I legit use ExpressVPN because, like I said, better safe than sorry, and I think you guys should too. It's just $7 a month and you got a 30-day money back guarantee if you're not digging it, but I'm sure you will. As a matter of fact, if you go to expressvpn.com/SPG, you will get 3 months free on a 1-year subscription. That is fantastic. So go to expressvpn.com/SPG for 3 months off. Links in the description to learn more. But now let's get into this tumor of a video.
Supreme victory!
I was sent this video from Vice, and normally I don't watch anything from Vice anymore because they kind of really spiraled down. You know, they used to have all this great stuff, great documentaries. I learned so many things about drugs and prostitution and what have you. Good times, man. But a few of you sent me this video and asked for my opinions on what it is, and this video is called Black Conservatives Debate Black Liberals on Trump, Obama, and American Politics. I'm gonna just hear it for the first time and try to react to it, which I'm imagining it's still gonna be pretty interesting because this debate has always been interesting. Most people always assume on the surface, especially when it comes to normies, that black people are just gonna be left. They're gonna be left-leaning. It's just the thing to do, you know. Black people are this, and then like most white people are that. You know, there's like always this division. There's always these stereotypes, and then it's always kind of weird when you see like a black conservative, right? Back in the day, I remember there was this one show on Comedy Central that was like circus freaks, and one of the freak acts was a gay Republican.
And this network has a brand new program about the role of circus freaks in our society. It's called Freak Show, and one of the freaks is a gay Republican. I told you this New Jersey thing would spread. His name is Log Cabin Republican, and I recently sat down for an interview with this political abomination.
It's almost the same thing can be said for a black Republican. You know, nowadays, when you think about somebody like Martin Luther King Jr., right, he's a Republican, it's like, oh yeah, everybody remembers that, sure. But then, you know, fast forward, things are much different. So this would be pretty interesting. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I grew up poor and black in Akron, Ohio. I went to one of the worst schools in Akron, Ohio. I went to the military, risked my life multiple times. There is no reason that every single black kid on the block can do that same thing.
we are
See, I resonate with that so much, and I don't see that as a conservative talking point, even though people always try to make it one. Like, you always see these people, these superstars that are just amazing. They're on top of the world, and then they give a lot of motivational speeches and stuff and get you pumped up. It's always apolitical. It's an apolitical thing, but for some reason when it turns into a black issue, it's like, oh, you're a sellout, or you're this or that or something, and it's like, why? Why can't somebody just pick themselves out the dirt? I think about The Rock as one of my favorite examples. He was just poverty-stricken in Hawaii. His mom barely could pay the rent and all this stuff. Fast forward to him even being in the Canadian Football League, and it wasn't working out for him trying to get into the NFL. Had almost no money, and then look what he worked his way into the WWE, and then all of a sudden now he's one of the most highest paid actors on the planet. You know, he came up from all of that stuff. Never mentions politics ever.
3 words or less. What is your reaction when you see a black person wearing a MAGA hat?
There's a story.
Independent-minded brother.
Bold.
Confused. Cringe.
Ew.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
Ew.
What exactly is that noise even supposed to be? Like, it's like an owl and an eel mixed together, like...
You do you. Looks good on you. It can't fit on my head.
So there's a few interesting answers. Like, the guy that says independent-minded brother reminds me of how Kanye West probably perceives the MAGA hat. And then you have this guy saying it's bold, which is silly to me because it shouldn't be. It should just be another political hat. And, you know, the reason I even have this thing and put it in here is because it's just silly to me when people freak out about it so much. And I know, you know, conservatives get a little annoyed of me just kind of making fun of it and kind of mocking it in a little bit because I don't take it seriously at all. But I think that should be the point, you know? It should just be a hat. You're like, oh, I don't like that person, whatever. It shouldn't be to the point where people are getting punched in the face or drinks thrown at them or what have you.
You do you.
Out of all of them, I think that one's the one that makes the most sense. You do you. That's how I feel. You know, you're a proud MAGA Trump supporter, whatever, wearing that hat. I'm like, okay, you do you. And if you don't, you're like, oh, I think Trump's a jackass, and I think people that wear the hat are stupid. I'm like, all right. You know, that's as far as it should go.
I saw true hate coming from the left, and it was white people calling me Uncle Tom. Pretty much, white people tell me I'm not black enough.
Aunts won't speak to me. Even now, I got aunts that don't talk to me because I want to be white.
The people that call me the nastiest, all kinds of like, oh, house Uncle Tom, like all this stuff.
I've been called a bed wench.
That's how racist the left still is.
So all that racist stuff is crazy. It is unfortunate that there is that hive mind mentality that it's like, if you are not with us, then you must be with the white folks. And it's like, what kind of thought process is that? In this day and age, we want to escape that type of racism. And, you know, I hate that there is this pass that is given to minorities, right? If you are considered oppressed, you can be as nasty as you want, but people that are at the top, which is the way that they perceive white people, put them on a pedestal, they can't punch down, they can't say anything because it's extremely egregious. And I'm like, I thought we were equal, and I thought it's all bad, you know? I think that's the best way to go about things. Don't you think?
For the black conservatives, how do you align with white conservatives when they speak mal of black people?
You call them out. My whole thing that's like
not
for
even
me,
calling them out, but just how do you stand with them when they are speaking mal
how do
against
you
your
stand with
people?
Hillary
with them?
Clinton
Like,
when
it's
she
not-
calls, you know, kids super predators?
You know what I'm
they're gonna
saying?
be racist
But there
everywhere you
are
go.
going to be some racists all over the place. So now it's like, okay, yo, watch him out.
Let's say that you're a fan of the Lakers and then one of the players on the team says something incredibly racist. Does that mean you're supposed to hate the entire Laker organization now? You can't mess with that team anymore? Or you single at that one guy and then you throw him out? That's typically how it goes. So why do you try to paint conservatives completely like that? You know, there is that perception that they're all like that, and it's silly. It's like, no, there's maybe been individual sprinkled things, but that's all. Like, that's the way that you're supposed to do it. Same with the Democratic Party. A lot of people like to try to give them shit like, oh, the Democrats started the KKK or whatever like that. I'm like, that was a long time ago. Obviously, they're not doing the same thing. You know, like there's things evolve and change.
Who here voted for Barack Obama? Damn near everybody.
Twice.
Campaign for him in 08.
A semi-personal question, did anyone vote for him just because he was black?
That's really interesting to me, but I'm also not surprised because I'll even admit that it was pretty chill to see a black guy get into that type of position because it shows you that sky is the limit for a black American in this country. But also, I didn't vote for the guy because I looked at him as an individual more than anything. And his smooth talking rhetoric, I just didn't buy it. People were fooled by Bush, and the internet was readily available, and there were videos like of Bush being a smooth talking pimp back in the day, even though a lot of people wouldn't believe it. But back in 2000, if you look at videos, he was great. He talked great about foreign policy too.
If we don't stop extending our troops all around the world in nation-building missions, then we're going to have a serious problem coming down the road, and I'm going to prevent that.
I'm concerned that we're over-deployed around the world.
I don't want to be the world's policeman.
A few moments later.
We come to Iraq with respect for its citizens.
So I didn't give Obama the benefit of the doubt. I was a third-party person. I still am a third-party person.
Not just, but that was a big reason I voted for him.
See, I'll admit, it's really funny because I'm a conservative, and I was so available to be used by all of the systems that made that person president. This person was born and raised in wealth and privilege his entire life. And the idea that this person was somehow more connected to me because we share the same skin color is crazy. But I bought it.
What he just said right there is so on point to a lot of things that I talk about, because I want people to focus less on the skin and focus a little bit more on class, because you recognize that people have much more in common in class than in skin color. You know, where I grew up, when I started to get older, you know, in my teenage years, I grew up in a city that was predominantly Hispanics, and that was the type of people I was hanging around in school. Those are the people that I was friends with. And then there's classes all over the place, right? You got really rich people, people that are kind of dirt poor, people that were just middle class and whatever. And then you just resonate with the people around your class. You know, I had white friends. One of my closest friends I grew up with is a white guy, but we're just all level playing field and we're all chill with each other. But I couldn't hang with the super rich people. We had nothing in common. It didn't matter if they're black, white, brown, or whatever. We had nothing in common. They were doing all this rich, fancy stuff and buying all the most expensive stuff and going bungee jumping, having giant trucks and all this stuff. And all we did was just drink 40s and stuff and a little bit of beer and whatever we can afford and get some hot Cheetos. That's what we bonded over. And so it's kind of preposterous when it's like, oh, skin color, therefore we must automatically bond more. A lot of times there is a clash. It just doesn't work out that way.
I want to hear what your reactions are to black voters being synonymous with the Democratic Party.
We've been on the receiving end of about 50 years of an onslaught of PR. It comes from our entertainers, it comes from our ball players, it comes from our singers, it comes from the Democratic politicians who, most of which are black and empty, but are being used to sell us this idea of the Democratic Party being the home of African Americans.
See, I was really interested in hearing the liberals' perspective on that, especially when that girl said he doesn't even know. Like, I'm assuming she had a lot to say, and she probably did say something, but they cut it out of this video. And I was trying to look for a full version of this. If somebody happens to find a full version, if they actually have one available, please link it, because I was looking in the description, I didn't see one, because maybe she had something interesting to say, and then I'm like, oh, well, okay.
A person has to serve the majority. So no matter who you vote for, the majority of this country ain't me. Now, if you want to talk about micro level politics and councilmen and who's sitting on the student board, who's sitting as the mayor, now we could talk about that all day.
I strongly agree with him when he says that we don't talk enough about local politics.
So that's where I'm at. That's why I said, like,
cannot agree with that.
you could do it.
That right there is what I love. Unity at the very end. This was actually a brilliant way to end the video, showing that they have differences, but they also have common interests as well, especially when it comes to like local voting, when it comes to like politics on the local scene. That is something that we don't talk enough about. Nobody talks enough about, and it's something that everybody kind of recognizes, and that's a very cool way to end the video, and it's a cool way to end the conversation, just showing you that, like, look it, even though we have ideological differences, there's things that we can come together about, and then we can actually improve everyone's living situations if we do work on these common goals and see that we do have common interest. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you like this video and try to help me boost that algorithms. Like, share, and subscribe it too if you dig it. Want to give a huge shout out to my mega sexy patrons, those of you that are still there. I'm also on Subscribestar. If you guys want to buy some merch and support me, that's cool too. Links are all in the description below. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.